Alex was talking about Roddy Piper, and
Yeah.
I just heard he said Roddy Piper, and it cut out weird, and I thought he said Erotic Hyperman, and I wasn't sure what kind, because there's so many of those games coming out, where it's like,
All right, here. This is the sound I was thinking of. I
oh
found
god,
it. I actually took the time to find it.
oh god,
I haven't used the Skype in a while. How do I do this? There we go. That. Erotic Hyperman!
um,
Just the
uh,
okay.
I
Now you
gotta
know
find.
the sound I'm talking about.
Just the
No.
word sound.
It's
Is it
been
just like a-
sampled everywhere.
Yeah, it's what you'll hear at the beginning of a lot of. Okay. If I have I think I disabled my. Let me see.
Oh, okay, yeah. Erotic Hyperman 2. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of another gaming podcast. We are on episode 33. I am one of your hosts, Dustin Kreis. It's been a while, but we've been busy. Schedules have not lined up, but we're kind of back, and we'll explain to you why we're kind of back tonight. We have a temporary substitution for the evening, but I'm also joined by my other co-host, Steven the Laggy Gamer.
I'm actually that temporary substitution. I'll no longer be with the show.
Oh,
My last one. No.
Is that what you're going to pull a Johnny Millennium and bring somebody in?
Yeah, this is my replacement. No, it has been a while, but technically, when I was looking back on the last episode, it still says it was a month ago, and I know it was like 2 months ago. But hey, it didn't make me feel as bad when I was looking back at the history.
Yeah, we've been very
It's been
busy.
a while.
Yeah.
End of May, I think, is when we did that one, and it's end of July, so it's been a while.
Yeah, we gotta get back on the ball. And joined tonight by the one, the only, the beautiful Alex. This is his real last name. Return to Mother Base.
Son of a bitch. Can't even... Hey everybody, how's it going? I am the temporary substitute for the evening.
This is actually my replacement, everyone, and the crowd goes wild.
Oh yes!
Finally, it's gone.
Yay!
But
you
no,
don't hear about anyone talk about Resident Evil anymore. Yeah.
The Too Many Games crew is back together again, reunited, and it feels so good.
And we're going to talk about the same thing we talked about in that video.
Yeah. No, it's supposed to be 2 hours of just Bithead impressions. That's what it's supposed to be. Just
Landmark show!
I wanted to do that, but since the boy's sleeping right beside me, I have to watch my volume, so you guys will have to pick up the Bithead impressions.
I'm very good at being loud.
I did watch the one where he talks about his very serious story of being addicted to crack cocaine. No, I'm just kidding. It's the Bithead 1000 show, baby. I did. I laughed.
Did you ever see the? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I laughed for a good solid 4 minutes at that.
He kept a solid face.
I know
for that whole video, man.
Right up to the end. Right up to the end.
You have to watch his Q&A. Because it's like he's in his car and it's like negative 10 degrees and you can see his breath and he's sitting there with a Blackberry and he's like, what do you think of video games? I do the greatest program in the history of civilization on video games. Next question.
Yeah, that was one of the highlights of the trip, being able to show off some Bithead greatest moments to Dustin. In the hotel room.
Because you guys have told me about him, but I'm just like, yeah, whatever. And then I watched the Blue-Haired Girl, but I was more impressed with his ability to paint than like anything that he was doing, because he wasn't really off the wall in that video.
Yeah.
But
There's
the video of all the intros is what sealed the deal.
oh, that one is amazing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
one that does it for me is one time he goes yard sailing and he brings his, I don't know, because her title changes every video. It's his girlfriend, wife, stepsister, mother, girl, whatever it is.
Stepsister.
And he said, like, they were walking down, like, this way, and she was like, oh, isn't that a cute house? He goes, why don't you move in there? And then you just hear a, and then you just see the camera shake, and you go, oh, why'd you do that? I'm trying to film here.
Yeah.
But no, as you've alluded to, though, Dustin, we've all been quite busy, so it's been rough even being able to play games or stay in the gaming loop as of general. Like, I have no idea what's really going on in gaming. I know we had a legend pass away. Actually, one passed away today, too, but one in the gaming industry. And it's just, I don't know. I've just been out of the loop on things. I might need you guys to fill me in on some stuff while we're chatting tonight.
I'm going to be real honest. I've kind of been out of it too. Like I'm pretty sure I have nothing pre-ordered at this moment.
Me neither.
Yeah,
Fallout 4 is the only thing I got.
Yeah, I have nothing pre-ordered, and I just keep forgetting to look at because who knows, stuff might have come out that I wanted, but I've not been paying attention.
Yeah.
I've been working on the backlog stuff, and I've been enjoying doing that. So.
Yeah, and in my case too. I mean, like, I mean, I still have pre-orders existing, but I honestly, since we got back from the expo, I've just been about more so just playing stuff. But like the other day, I got I already shot my pickup video, but the other day I opened up the mail and I was like, oh, what's it? Best Buy? What is this? Oh, it's Lost Dimension. I totally forgot about this. Like. And I was like, oh, and then I get my credit card bill, because my billing period just ended. I'm like, oh, great. It's yay. It's like, way to go, Alex. Way to go. But I mean, I haven't been playing, I would say, as much in terms of volume, but I finished some really like long games this month. So I mean, like a visual novel, Batman. Like, Batman came out, and that was really, like, the last new release I think I was, like, totally up on, I guess.
Yeah, that was the last. I was trying to think of, like, the last new game I had beaten, and that was it, Batman.
I heard that thing had a sucker punch of a twist.
Yeah, it ended.
For me, it did. For Alex, it didn't have much of a twist, because he knows his Batman history. But for me, I was kind of like, whoa! Pretty cool.
Yeah, like what happened with me was towards the end of Batman, and Dustin, I know you haven't played, but Steven, I was so sick of the Batmobile. It was so cool,
Oof.
And I was like, they can't possibly make something as cool as the Batmobile annoying, and they figured it out. So A+ to Rocksteady for that. But.
That was my immediate impression on this. When you first control that, have you had a chance to even like touch it? Does Ernie have it or anything, Dustin? And you just like dabbled on it?
I watched somebody play it, and it just seemed like it reminded me of like in Halo when you get into like a Scorpion. It's just like a tank. You're just driving around as a tank.
I think you control, well, maybe Warthog would be a closer resemblance.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah. I was gonna say, what was the name of the tanky thing in Twisted Metal? I couldn't remember.
Yeah. But it was so annoying when I first started playing that thing. You guys saw me preaching about it. I hated the controls on it. But man, by the end I had that thing mastered. I could do anything in that Batmobile. So the annoyance of it kind of grew off. It's just that side mission where you have to always kill things in it or blow up those other tanks.
Oh,
those were getting really repetitive and filler, and those missions were getting annoying. But
I think the best is when Katie watches me play games. Like, and most of the time, like, she prefers me to play action games. Like, if I pop in, like, I tried to pop in Tears to Tiara 2 the other day, and she goes, "What's this?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's a strategy RPG." She goes, "Please do not play that."
Lame. I'm out of here.
Yeah, she's like, lame. Why'd you play Devil May Cry 4? I'm like, okay, I guess I could play that. I kind of don't feel like it, but okay. But even with Batman, like even she was just like, I am sick and tired of seeing you in this car. She's like, I
Now,
see you do Batman stuff.
did you download the Tim Burton DLC? Is that out yet?
It's not out yet.
Not out, and I was so angry when I saw that. I was like, I sent it to her, the image of it, and she
Yeah.
goes, "Don't buy any more things." I'm like, no, this is a skin. It's not like an action figure. Or anything. And she's like, "Oh, but you already beat it. That sucks."
Well,
Nope.
if the add-on content that they send out would be good, I could see myself playing it because I'm literally 98% of everything is done, so I wouldn't mind dabbling into it.
I personally didn't bother with most of the Riddler trophies. I was like, I've done this 3 times already. I'm not interested in doing it again.
I was really enjoying the flight controls and how they really made it so great for you to really zip across the city flying with the power boost. And even though driving the Batmobile sucked, like just launching out of it when you're going high speed and tackling down bad guys, it's pretty sweet.
I think personally for me, the best part of the game, I think, was the psychological stuff that they had going on in it. That's all I'm going to say. That was easily the best part of the whole game.
The Joker steals the show, like he does in everything for Batman, I guess.
And am I correct that this is the last time that Mark Hamill's going to do the voice?
No,
He said that the last time, too.
you are
did he?
incorrect,
Okay.
because he's reprising his role. He's doing the voice in the movie, so I guess he's going to continue with Joker stuff.
I guess.
Are you talking about the Killing Joke animated movie?
Yeah.
See, now I've heard that that's just what people want. I haven't heard confirmation that that's actually happening.
I thought he quoted. I will look it up while we're talking. Mark Hamill, Killing Joke. But yeah, speaking of that, isn't that going to be awesome seeing it? I wonder who's doing would it be Warner Brothers? Do they own rights to, I guess, doing that?
They own.
Yeah, they own DC, so they own everything.
Mark Hamill will voice the Joker one more time for the Killing Joke.
And I know Bruce
So this is like
just did one for Justice League. I haven't seen it yet though, but it's supposed to be like the dark take on Justice League where everybody's screwed up. I don't know how.
I don't know. But that'll be cool.
it's like a farewell tour at this point. You know, she had like 8 or 9 farewell tours. Mark Hamill's doing the voice one last time.
You know he would be desperate if he was like Mark Hamill calls EA to ask if they would consider making another Wing Commander.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the Killing Joke is such a staple in the Batman franchise. To not have him there, I think he knew how important it probably would be that, you know what, I gotta do the voice for this.
He's going to voice cartoon Joker until the day he keels over. That's the reality of the situation.
But you know what though? He didn't do the voice for the Joker in The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my favorite Batman movie of all time. In all honesty.
Is the Batman and Robin one the newest movie out of all those 3?
I think so.
Was he? Well, Joker might not be in that one, so I don't know.
No, he wasn't. Then there was Suicide Squad, but I don't think he was in that one either.
Okay.
But yeah, no, he didn't do the voice for the Joker in that one. It was like some guy who sounded like James Woods, but it wasn't James Woods.
Actually, I think it was James Woods, wasn't it?
I don't know.
It probably could have been. I'm actually looking at Batman stuff now, so I'll let you know if I get to it.
He's not doing much these days, I'm sure.
Yeah, between the Family Guy episodes and asking him to re-record his lines for Hades and Kingdom Hearts, that's all he really has going for him.
Uh-huh.
So, because Batman's like your hero, right, Alex? Like that's your guy.
Batman's my personal favorite.
So, is there actually a current ongoing series, like television cartoon series with him now, or no?
The last one I knew about was Brave and the Bold. But that was like very much like, who's Batman gonna team up with today? And that was it. That was the last one I watched.
Which is kind of the way the new movie's looking too.
Well, I'm wondering if is there an actual popular like superhero cartoon still running these days, or are those things are they dead now? That's just not the cartoons that are cool anymore.
I couldn't even tell you.
There was a Justice League cartoon for a while, but I don't know if it's still
Justice League
going.
Unlimited, I have the DVD box set. That was actually one of my favorite shows back on Cartoon Network back in the day.
Well, because it just seems like, superhero anything these days is just killing it in the box office. And Batman, that trilogy, the Christopher Nolan trilogy stuff, was so huge that you figured if they started up a Dark Knight cartoon series that with a darker kind of feel to it, that could be something that could take off, I would think. But
well, that's the entire reason they did The Brave and the Bold, was because they wanted something to contrast the Nolan films.
But you know what, too, though? Obviously superhero movies make tons of money. I'm personally getting sick of them. Like, I'm tired of going to a movie theater to watch a bunch of guys in costume run around. And trust me, I've enjoyed every single recent superhero movie I've seen, with the exception of the Hulk. Of the not the latest one, the one before the
Eric Bana one.
Yeah.
That's the only one I really didn't like. But at this point now, like today, I'm just like, enough. Like, give me a stupid situational comedy. Give me a Woody Allen movie. Give me something. Like, I'm just tired of it.
Go watch Grown Ups 2. Boo. Get out of here.
Go watch Pixels.
No, Pixels. Oh, poor Adam Sandler. I heard he's officially done with movies now, like box office movies. It's like Netflix only. I heard that on the radio this morning while I was going into school.
Well,
is that what he said?
Apparently, yeah, he's done. I don't think anyone would want to pick him up anymore for a movie with it's like 7 bombs in a row.
He's the new Eddie Murphy. That's what he is.
No, I thought Grown Ups did well, though.
Except for Grown Ups 2. It made money, but it was still a badly rated movie.
Oh, it was like one of those, like, we spent $20 million and we made $20.5 million back.
Yeah, just
yeah. But name the last good Adam Sandler movie you've seen.
I don't know the order of movies he's done.
Well, if it's not Billy Madison or Happy Gilmore or Punch Drunk Love, then you're wrong.
What about Big Daddy?
No.
I have a soft spot.
He said no. I actually really like that other serious one with Don Cheadle. I really like that one too.
Oh, what about Click? Oh, Click was just depressing.
Yeah.
No, not Click.
What's it
Click?
called?
I've heard
Click was just sad. I was just. Ugh.
I heard that Reign Over Me movie was supposed to be good.
Is that what it is? Maybe that's what I'm trying to think of.
I don't know, but it's like
that is it. I would recommend watching that, Dustin, because he plays Shadow of the Colossus in it. And that game is very important to him in that thing.
Well, it's got the game in it, so I need to go watch it now. Does he sit there and hammer on the buttons like they do in every movie where there's a video game?
No, he actually
plays
holding
the wrong controller.
Yeah.
And now that I'm looking over his list of movies, that is the last good one to me he's been in.
Yeah.
Wow, and he's had a bunch come out afterwards. Oh man, poor guy.
Every time I think of Adam Sandler, the one thing I think of is him just going, "Oh, horse shit." That's the only thing that comes to mind.
Oh, we always got Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, or
even worse, he produced this. What was that movie that he produced that did nobody cared about, but it has a cult following?
Grandma's Boy, man.
Yeah, Grandma's Boy. That's the one. That
it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix now.
That movie's amazing. That's a much better video game movie than anything he probably thought of the Pixels.
Dude, the phone. Who is it? I think it's the devil.
I'm gonna get robot legs. It's a very dangerous surgery.
Yeah, Grandma's Boy is a must for any gamer fan. You gotta watch Grandma's Boy.
He's coding on an Xbox.
Right, Dustin? Please tell me you've seen Grandma's Boy.
I have not seen Grandma's
You
Boy.
are not American.
Well, I've been claimed about that
Sure.
before. It's not the first time I heard that. So
It is on Netflix, so just add it to the wish list, and when you get a chance.
yeah.
Too bad our movie night thing didn't pan out well. That'd be a good one to watch.
It is a funny movie. It's not one of those things you're gonna leave. Unlike watching You, Me, and Dupree, where you feel like you've experienced the best 2 hours of your life, but you'll enjoy yourself.
Yeah, you'll have a good time with it.
That being said, please don't watch You, Me, and Dupree. It's a terrible movie.
Anyways, where do I want to get to here? You know what, Dustin? You've been playing. I'm gonna just get into it now. You've been playing a game series which you are just steamrolling through here, and it's a series that people have always talked about, and one that I never really had much interest in, but now I'm kind of interested in it, and I did boot it up last night. That being the EarthBound series. I know you and Alex, or you in particular, are at Too Many Games. You were really eyeballing that repro cart, and you snagged it. And then I was watching the video of Johnny Millennium snagging his copy too, which I guarantee he got for cheaper than you at Too Many Games.
Wait, I thought you didn't buy it though.
I didn't buy it.
I thought you did get it.
No, I was kicking myself for not buying it because I got home and my PSP Go, the emulator doesn't work on my PSP Go. So I was like, please God, let it work on the 3000, and then of course it worked on the 3000. Yeah, I didn't pick that up.
I could have sworn you got it. No,
you were there in the video. You know it didn't happen.
It's been a month. A lot's happened since. Man, so Alex got his repo cards, but anyways, still, you've been slam dunking that, and I know you have beaten the first two, Alex.
I've beaten EarthBound proper. I haven't played or finished Beginning. I downloaded it once they said, "Hey, it's up there," and all that crap.
The day it got announced, I actually downloaded it. So, and then EarthBound was when Club Nintendo was shutting doors. I used my points to buy that off the eShop. So I had them both sitting on my virtual console, and I actually booted it up last night to see what all the rave was. But I gotta say, upon initial impressions, Dustin and Alex, when you first see this game, it doesn't look really good. As far as visually.
Are you talking Beginnings or are you talking EarthBound?
I'm talking EarthBound here on Super Nintendo.
I don't understand what you're talking about right now.
You're not American either.
Listen to me real quick. It just looked like maybe a kindergartner was drawing the sprites or something. I don't know.
It's supposed to be reminiscent of Peanuts.
Yeah, that's one of the.
Yeah, I started to realize that after playing it. I was to say, the art really grew on me though, and it was it just had something special to it. Because I'm watching the speedrun thing all week that people are doing. I'm watching all these classic games, and speaking of games that I really underestimated for their looks and just their physics alone, Earthworm Jim does so much stuff with its physics. It's amazing what you were able to do on a 16-bit console.
I hate that game so much.
Oh, I could never get past the first two levels.
No, neither could I. That's why I don't like it.
But just
I love the character.
The movement and everything in that game it's unbelievable what they were able to accomplish. And then I'm looking at this EarthBound with these weird looking graphics, and then it all started to make sense. The charm, the way everything's written in it. I'm like, I get it. I understand why people love it. So, I want to hear about some EarthBound. What was it? Because you got it when it came out on Super Nintendo. Picked it up, right?
Yeah.
What was the draw to even want to get that game?
Well, I was a big RPG fan, so I either wanted to get RPGs or I wanted to rent them at Blockbuster back when you could do that kind of stuff. Um, and Nintendo Power was really just pushing it. And it just looked awesome. I love the fact that it was an RPG set in like the modern era. Like you're just walking around, like the town of Onet kind of looks like Zanesville in a way. You know,
So
it's
it actually was getting a lot of push, you're saying, from...
Oh yeah, Nintendo was pushing the hell out of it.
Okay. Because for something to not, I guess it didn't sell so well, I mean, it's crazy. Because normally when Nintendo pushes something, like a la Splatoon, I mean, that game sold like hotcakes.
Well, remember, this is a different era. This is
True.
a much different era.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, from what I remember, same thing as Dustin. Like, I remember reading about it in Nintendo Power, and I was like, to Steven's point, I was like, okay, these graphics really don't look that wonderful. They don't look that fantastic. But also, to Dustin's point, it does look very reminiscent of Peanuts. And I was a huge fan of Charles Schultz and Charlie Brown and all that stuff and the comic strips and all that sort of thing. So for me, I was like, hey, this looks like something that'd be kind of fun. So I remember I walked into GameStop to buy it, and I'm like, hey, can I get EarthBound? And he came out with this huge box. And I was like, oh, there's like a special edition? He goes, no, this is it, $70. I'm like, oh. I think you open it up.
$70, what a steal.
Yeah, yes. I think, you open it up, and it's like, it comes with a strategy guide, and I'm like, wow, wonder why it comes with a strategy guide. And then I'm flipping through it, I'm like, no wonder. I would never think of this shit. Like, how a town with an invisible, was it a cross-eyed, mustached man?
Yeah.
It's like, you would never be able to find that normally.
Actually, I found them without the guide.
I was just saying, so what you're saying
this is my fourth playthrough.
I might have trouble playing this game.
Or the truffle part. Like, I wouldn't have been able to figure that out.
Yeah, the truffles, and then finding the Sword of Kings. You'd never be able to find the Sword of Kings.
So should I keep a guide up on standby?
Well, I mean,
now I think as you're older, I think some of the stuff would be more apparent to me, apparent to us. But
yeah,
the other part about the game that was interesting at the time was, upon initial impression, I was like, this is the most boring thing I've ever played. Like, it's this small town, like every other RPG starts, but there was like nothing really spectacular about it. The battle system was kind of slow, I thought. The character models, like, they started to grow on, they started to like drone on me, and then I had to use the strategy guide the whole time, and I really didn't like the game at first until I flipped ahead in the manual or in the strategy guide, and I saw the section with the zombies, and I'm not going to say what it is, but there's a certain event in there that is from one of my favorite movies, and that's when the game totally turned around for me. And then I realized it's nothing but a big joke on American life.
Yeah.
After that, it was amazing. Because that was just ridiculous.
I was going to say, the moment that finally put a big smile on my face, because I'm just at the beginning, so I just made it in the town you're talking about, Dustin, the Ornet, and I explored that a little bit. But when I first came back to my house, and there was the music playing when I came back into the house to save for the first time was so beautiful and welcoming that I was like, oh, I'm falling in love with this game now just from that music. But then just all the quirkiness from the characters when you talk to them, like talking to your dog and stuff, and the dialogue the dog had, and the silly dialogue your parents have. And just how everything works. My dad's always giving me money. That's cool. Thanks, Dad. And I'm just falling in love with the characters already. Only like an hour and a half into the game, and it's already gripping me. So it's probably going to be the next game I finish. But
yeah, that music that plays when you walk around Onet is like one of my all-time favorite. Just walk around, like, overworld themes. that I just love that song for some reason. I don't know why.
Is in Onet, is that Iwata in that town? There's a guy that seems like it looks like him in that town.
I don't know.
There's I think there's one section of I forgot what city it is. I think there's like a video game company or something, and like I think, and there's character models that look like a bunch of guys who work at Nintendo. I think that was the game.
But this Earthbound franchise, Dustin, like, what is the gist of it? Are they all connected, or is it a central storyline? I mean, what are we doing in the game? I know a meteor hit in Earthbound.
Yeah.
And I'm off on my adventure.
The first and second game... Sorry, Caitlin was showing me something. The first and second games, like the first game, Earthbound Beginnings, if you play, like, you're going to play Earthbound, and then you'll go play this one, and you're going to be like, a lot of this is really familiar. And what it really feels like is, like, they made Earthbound Beginnings, and maybe it was rushed, or they didn't get to refine it as much as they wanted to. And then when they got a chance to make Earthbound, like, they went back and they were like, all right, we're going to do it right this time. Because there's so many, like, parallels between Earthbound Beginnings and Earthbound proper that it almost feels like an enhanced remake in a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
But even the main character looks like Ness too.
Yeah, and instead of the main character is Ness in Earthbound, but in Earthbound Zero it's supposed to be like Nintendo. So they were sticking with that, like, Nintendo, and then NES, like the NES,
You guys are going to kill me, and all Nintendo fans are going to kill me. But who is Lucas, then?
Lucas is in the third... He's a fat... Lucas is in the third game. He's the hero of the third game.
Because I'm playing Earthbound, I'm like, oh crap, was this Ness or Lucas?
Yeah.
Wait, they look the same. What is going on here?
Yeah.
Okay. So continue.
But anyway, like, the... if I remember correctly, the final boss in Earthbound and Beginnings are the same boss. So I think, and I know there's going to be some Earthbound aficionado out there that's just going to blast me through a wall on this, but I do think that they are sequels to each other, if I remember correctly. But, okay. I mean, they're obviously sequels in the series, but in terms of storyline, I do think they connect.
Yeah.
The storyline between Earthbound and Mother 3 do connect, for sure. There's a character from both games that carry over.
Okay.
So.
But what is the main goal of it? Like, what are you said it makes fun of American life. But is there...
See, that's the thing. Like, it's sort of a mystery. You don't really know until later on in the game. Okay. So to tell you will be kind of to, like...
Kind of sort of ruin it.
Okay. Kind of sort of ruin it. All you know is that there's all these, a meteorite fell, it's making the animals go crazy, and you have been chosen to, by destiny to fix this great problem. And then as you play through the game, you find out what it is. And when you might be a little underwhelmed by it, but it's kind of like Dark Souls in a way. Like, if you go out and read the lore on the actual enemy, it's actually pretty creepy and kind of sad in a way. Creepy and sad.
Is that how they all start with this meteor, or is it just Earthbound?
That's just Earthbound.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, neat. Because I'm looking forward into playing that one, especially after the hard time Valkyria Chronicles has been giving
you quitter.
As of late.
Oh, gee, yeah. Mr. Souls over there can't beat Valkyria Chronicles.
It's it's just me and wanting to get the best rate possible.
Well, you gotta get over that.
Yeah, it's...
I told you just gotta keep Largo and the tranny together at all times.
Yeah,
And literally, they will just destroy anything. Like, stuff that Lancers shouldn't even be able to hit or kill, they will be able to kill.
But I want A ratings, man, and they're too slow. They keep the turn count too high. I ain't got time for them.
Yeah, but you have to have lancers. I mean, what are you gonna do?
I
Go
mean,
behind it?
especially at one point, the scouts, I forget what they rank up into specifically, or maybe it was the second game. They just become totally overpowered.
Yeah, you can get
No,
a scout behind a tank and kill it in 3
yeah.
shots.
Well,
So,
yeah, scouts are really overpowered in the first game. I haven't played the second one yet, but I do remember that like I was running around with oh, what's the girl character's name?
Alicia.
Alicia. I remember just like she would just dominate the entire board basically, and everybody else would be catching up to her.
yeah. That's pretty much what I've been doing. She's
Yeah.
the leader. Why the tank just sits in the back
Yeah.
like he's a boss.
No,
you know?
if you get Welkin involved, he like, what is it? His affinities kick in. They're pretty good. But are you
Yeah.
using Vice at all?
Only when I'm desperate. Like I said, I'm trying to go fast and the tank's too slow. So
No. Vice. He'd be a stormtrooper.
Scott Arcadia guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Vice. Because isn't Weiss the main character's name?
Edelweiss is the tank.
Yeah, okay.
Edelweiss is the tank. Welkin Gunther is the leader.
Yeah, I got Vice on the squad, but yeah, the Stormtrooper guy. They're semi-slow, so I normally roll with Rosie. He's the backup if...
Rosie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rosie's a good one, though.
Yeah, I normally roll with her. But if they're spot for 2, I'll take them.
You need to stick with that game though, because it's really it's impressive on all fronts. It's really one of those perfect games.
I know. I
Especially like it being like an alternate World War II story. I was like an alternate World War II story. I was kind of like, is it going to touch on a certain event that happened during World War II? And it actually kind of does. And I was actually really impressed with it.
And I know I'll do fine if I just play it slowly and do it that way, but
yeah,
that stupid part of me that needs to be perfect
well,
and get that great ranking so I can level up quicker. But
you're missing out, man. I mean, Dustin already touched on it a little bit, but that game, like when you finish it, you realize like the whole thing was designed to try to tell like a really dark story, but try to lighten it a little bit, like in terms of visual design, so it could be told to way more people.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot. There's a lot of historical context.
I was saying I'm on chapter 11 and nothing really dark has happened yet. I'm over halfway through the game. So unless something's
it happened
near the end.
yeah,
it happened.
Yeah, you'll know when it happens.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, we're gonna talk about this. Oh,
well, that was the whole point. I was like, I'm gonna knock this out, then maybe get some Valkyria Chronicles 2 action going, getting ready for a mini-sode for that, like getting all these plans, and then I hit this roadblock. I'm like, well, there goes those mini-sodes.
The second game is mechanically a lot better, but the story, you're gonna be like, okay, we came off of all this dark, dastardly shit, and now we're in a high school.
We're back in school again.
It's a good game. I mean, I beat that game. I beat the second one twice, once on normal and once on hard. I really liked it, but the story, it doesn't compare.
Playing through that game twice, man. Isn't the second one like an 80-hour game?
No.
Oh, no? Okay.
I'd say like 40.
Okay.
I really liked it. Like, I was obsessed.
And the third is supposed to be like the king of the crop, right?
Yeah, I have the translated patch, and then I have the game, but I personally just haven't popped it in yet.
No, well.
It's a good series, though. You don't give up on it.
Oh, I believe you, but I'm kind of in.
I'll give you my save data.
I'm in EarthBound mode now, so I don't know when it'll happen because I really want to play through EarthBound now.
Okay, that's fine.
And when did what did Iwata actually do in that game?
he was a programmer,
A programmer.
co-producer.
Wow.
Like
Yeah, you
so,
first.
okay. I was gonna say I actually read that like he was very instrumental in getting that game out. Like it wouldn't be as polished as it was if it wasn't for him. Which that might just be, post mortem,
Yeah.
polishing, but
And
that's
I don't know my Iwata like history. I just know, I mean, I always liked the guy for when he was bringing Nintendo news directly to me. I really enjoyed that. But it was sad when he had passed away. But just his story from, I mean, like you just said, programmer to running, being the presidente. That's just an awesome story. Like that just doesn't happen anymore these days.
especially since he
Yeah.
was the first one not in the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard work and just doing good at your job get you to
I
the top.
I forgot the name of the game developer, the guy who made Seaman. Um, he and Iwata were like good friends, and when Iwata got promoted, he went to him and said, "Hey, I want you to make games for me." And he was like, "Oh, why are you in a suit?" He's like, "Well, this is my job now. Like, I'm not with you anymore, but I know what you're capable of, and I want you to make games for me." And apparently, the Seaman 3DS game was a thing.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like
Wow.
apparently it was like a serious project, but it fell off by the wayside. And it was on some blog post. I don't remember. I forgot where I read it. But
Oh,
at the end of the blog post, he got like really emotional. It was just like, and for all this, it's like, I want to say thank you for, and it's a huge list. And then it says, I'm sorry this game wasn't done on time. I'm sorry we never were able to finish this. I'm sorry I didn't take you seriously when you first came to me. Like this huge thing. And they were talking about how he and Iwata apparently had Street Pass working on a Game Boy years ago.
Huh.
Like all this crazy stuff, like all these ideas that are new to us now, he had apparently greenlit years ago.
and there is a Seaman 2 already out, by the way, in Japan on the PS2.
God.
So enjoy if anyone wants to experience that.
See that.
It's funny you mention that because Angry Video Game Nerd just did his newest episode on that. And I thought it was a pretty good episode, and just hearing Leonard Nimoy's voice in there was pretty neat.
We lost him this year too.
Yeah.
It's been a bad year for all that.
For entertainment.
Yeah.
It's been surprising, like especially hearing with Roddy Piper today, man.
Oh God.
I was see, because then you see their age, and it's always, man, seeing all these male adults dying in their 50s and 60s, and it's like,
He
man,
was young.
we're halfway there, guys. I mean, ugh. But yeah, he was young, and then
Gotta drink more Diet Coke.
my wife looked over. She's like, probably steroids. I was like, well, he's been out the game for a while. I don't know if I would think effects of steroids would have died off by now.
Mm,
But
Look at Ric Flair. He's still going.
yeah, woo! That stupid picture. You said,
Woo!
but
Isn't he married like 12 times or something?
he's like 5 or 6. But
God.
I think at one point Roddy Piper did have cancer, but he had been 5 years clean. So I thought apparently he had beaten it. So then when you conquer something like cancer, but I guess to pass away in your sleep is what we always all kind of want to do, even though it was from a heart attack. So I'm pretty sure you feel that even if you sleep it. Not sure.
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends on how hard it hits.
But man, it does stink seeing that son. I'm such a huge wrestling guy.
Yeah.
That's like a piece of my childhood passing
And
up as well.
apparently Hulk Hogan's a racist. I mean, everything's.
Oh God.
Everything.
Whatever he said, didn't he say it like 10 years ago?
It is like 10 years ago.
He's
So
bounced back so much though. So
can't they just say he was in the NWO when he was a dick and just call it quits?
that was Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, exactly. Hollywood said that.
Exactly.
Hulk Hogan didn't say that. Hollywood Hogan said I'm not that person anymore.
The real American dream didn't say it. Oh, Dusty Rhodes, that's another one. American Dream. Yeah. So many. Oh my goodness.
You said American Dream, I was thinking Lex Luger with the steel elbow.
Oh. No, that is steroids. So.
Oh, we need to get Joe on here real quick. We're talking wrestling.
Hey, speaking of wrestling, I'm going to try to be in the works very diligently to get us an awesome co-host for one of our episodes who is big in wrestling. We'll see what happens. They have a YouTube channel now. If anyone is current with the new WWE roster, what's going on, there is a wrestler by the name of Xavier Woods, real name Austin Creed, who is an avid video game player. That's all he's about is video games. He has a YouTube channel, Up, Down, Down, where he'll bring other wrestlers in the back into the locker rooms and they're playing video games. But, I mean, and he really is a true, like, not just because he has money now, he's buying games. Like, he's growing up. He's a Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy fan, like you, Dustin, from the Super Nintendo days. Growing up, that is him all the way. And I'm gonna see, man. Hey, doesn't hurt to ask. Mr. Woods, would you like to be a guest on the show?
And what hurts more, the Hogan leg drop or the perfect flex? That would be my question.
The flex.
You think?
Yeah.
See, all my wrestling knowledge is like late 80s and early 90s. Like people say wrestling, I think Yokozuna, Lex Luger, Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart. That's it.
What's sad is...
Oh, and the British Bulldog who walked around with the dog for no apparent reason. The guy with the parrot.
Yeah. But hey, that was the stuff back then, man. Wrestling was the scene in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. I liked back then. I really liked Razor Ramon.
Oh, he's still cool, even in his drunk, cracked up days. Today, he's still on.
Today.
Uh-oh, I heard what? That sounded like a PlayStation 3.
Yeah, Caitlin's starting the PS3 up.
I was gonna say it was like her, yeah. Netflix, or is she gonna play a game?
I don't know.
Oh,
she has been playing Saga Frontier and Rayman, so I'm not
really?
sure. Yeah, but I don't know if if she's playing. I'll ask her. You playing a game or are you watching a... She's going to play Saga Frontier.
Oh, man.
Bum, bum, bum.
We'll on the next episode, we expect a quick mini review of Saga Frontier then, from Kate.
I really liked Saga Frontier. I played through it as red and blue.
I meant to ask you guys, since that Saga Frontier reminded me that I had went to that pawn shop and I got that Kingsfield and those other games I showed you guys there. And Saga Frontier was there too. But I meant to ask you guys, was there anything from Too Many Games since when we got back that you kind of regret you didn't buy? So do you regret you didn't get to buy them other three now, Dustin, when you're there?
For when the emulator was not doing its saving, yeah, I was like, crap, I should have just got that cartridge. But then I booted up the PSP 3000 and it was fine. And I was like, save that money. So, there wasn't anything. I mean, of course, there's the really high end stuff that you wish you could buy. But I pretty much, got what I wanted. And, anything that I talked myself out of, I realized
3DO.
Well, that would have been a completely ridiculous purchase. What would I have done with a 3DO? To be honest with you, that's just one of those things. Like it's like you and well, no, because you'd actually use a TurboGrafx, so it's not like that.
We could have used it that night, man. It would have been great.
Yeah, you're right. We had to buy games. I didn't actually see any TurboGrafx games there. I remember at least.
I think there was
I saw
some.
some.
Yeah, there was some like underneath like glass cases and things like that, but nothing. Like,
Oh yeah, no. So that means we wouldn't have brought any games.
yeah.
I would have been asleep by 8 o'clock anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered.
I don't know if there are any like bargain bin TurboGrafx games. I don't think that's. I think every TurboGrafx game kind of commands somewhat of a price.
Except Image Fight.
I have no TurboGrafx knowledge, so
Yeah.
I have none myself. The only TurboGrafx games I have are the 3 that were on PSN.
Hey, Alex, don't worry. We're going to get that TurboGrafx. We're going to get it.
and the sharks ain't gonna get it from you.
Shocking! Getting the yard sale.
Mother. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. All right, it's more Bithead for you guys. Go watch Bithead 1000, everybody.
He hasn't put up a video in a while, come to think of
It's
it.
concerning me, I know. Lost my train of thought.
For me, I don't think there was. I mean, honestly, I think I got everything at the show or nearby the show that I originally
I was going to
set
say,
up.
yeah, you don't have any reason to complain. You got pretty much you
Yeah.
walked out there
Like a champ.
like a champ.
Except the Contra Hardcore.
Yeah.
Well, I eventually found one, which I didn't pay $50 for. Thank God.
Yeah.
But,
I was actually watching Josh's SNES versus Genesis video today, and he showed Contra Hardcore, and I was like, "Oh, Alex!"
I watched that this morning. I was like, ha ha! Can't feel bad now.
I know when I got back, there was a bunch of stuff I wish I could have got. The one I regretted most, of course, is that Shadow Tower on the PS1. I wish I would have grabbed that one. But it would have been cool just to have more things in the collection. Like, I really want to get a lot more of the Castlevania games, so they had a box, Bloodlines, there, which I only have a cart only of, but to have that box. Something about having certain games
It's an
boxed.
expensive game now, man.
Yeah, they're getting so expensive. All these retro games are. It's getting kind of insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I lucked out with my Bloodlines because Bloodlines came in a plastic and it also came in a cardboard. So I had bought mine a while ago off of Amazon. I think it was like the guy was asking like $35 all in, and it was complete. So I was like, all right, fine, $35, whatever. I want the damn game. And then it came as the plastic one, and apparently he had priced it at the cardboard price, and the plastic one I guess goes for like at the time went for like $50.
Oh wow!
So I lucked out.
You would think since the cardboard one's tougher to keep in good condition, that would probably go for more.
You would think, but I think it's probably because it was like a reprint thing.
It's probably because people don't want to mess with the cardboard boxes.
That too.
I prefer I mean, with me, Genesis games have to at least come with the box. Like,
You know, it's
I can't otherwise.
what's crazy is I'm looking at the ones that I have boxed and complete. Oh, sorry, boxed and complete. It's almost like a 50-50 split out of the 20 I got here. 20 are boxed and 20 are clamshell. So it's. I didn't realize there were so many boxed like versions of Genesis games.
Well, yeah, I mean, box Super Nintendo games would be, a dime a dozen if they came in those plastic clamshell cases.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a thing to keep, like a cardboard box. Back in the 90s, people just chuck that.
Yep, I know I did. But see, with Super Nintendo, I'm cool with getting card only.
With Super Nintendo, I'm cool with just emulating because these prices are outrageous.
I'm at that level. I'm like, unless I find it in passing at a flea market that I don't go to anymore, or the yacht sale.
Yard sales.
Then I'm done with trying to pay those prices. Like, I'm so glad I have like Super Castlevania 4 taken care of already. Except me and Alex still need our manuals. There's only maybe a couple, like a box Super Metroid would just be so awesome, but that's in the hundreds now.
Yeah,
so,
that's a bit much.
I had the box at one time.
You could say that for so many of yours.
I could say it, yeah. Like, it's just It's so dumb. But oh well.
Even Saturn games are ridiculous price too. I mean, half of my Saturn collection is Japanese, just because it's so much less expensive.
Well, it's like y'all were saying with the TurboGrafx. Just there's some systems that are just starting to get insane for the prices on the games.
It's because the entire. I mean, everybody's doing this now. Like everybody's collecting. It's become huge, and you've already starting to see sort of the wall crack. I mean, I was talking to Yanacito about how he's basically selling everything and just doing those. I want those EverDrives.
Yeah.
So I mean, eventually, I think you're going to start seeing like people lose their collecting drive and just dump their stuff, and hopefully that makes the prices all drop down. And
I think for some we will see, like, I know while we were out at Too Many Games, we saw, like, the spikes firsthand for games that were once $8, Shenmue 2, now selling for $70, and we're like, well, when did this happen? I mean, these new games...
When they announced Shenmue 3.
Yeah. These new games get announced, like, the new Doom's coming out, and all of a sudden, Doom 64 jumps up, like, $10-$20 in price, depending on what kind of version you get.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, I mean, so I think
that game is worth it though. I played it for a good 2 or 3 hours, and that alone was worth it.
I love how I pass on it up there, and then I come down here and like find it for a steal in card only form in a Kingsfield. It's so awesome. Pat myself on the back.
But I mean, I guess going back to Dustin's point too, it's like, I mean, obviously, we're all collectors. I mean, I have a PS2 that can, for lack of a better word, play burned discs, which is how I play import games or fan translations. And then I, out of guilt, get a copy of the Japanese version. But now I'm thinking about it, like, a few days ago, I was like, so let me get this straight. I have a Japanese RPG that, with no translation, and I've bought it, and I have the copy that I can play, and I have no way to understand what the hell is going on. What the hell is the purpose of that? So, I mean, I basically, like, since I even came back from the show, I slimmed down a little bit more. I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell looking at it, but just little by little, I'm just trying to refine it to a point where it makes sense. Because some of this stuff, like, duplicates of duplicates of duplicates for no reason. And it's not even for trade. It's just like, for love of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I have Metal Gear Solid 4, I think, 3 times. And there's no difference between any of them. So.
Yeah, I really don't want to be paying hundreds of dollars for games when I get older. So this is like the time. If I'm not finding the ones, like I said, Super Metroid within the next year or so at a price I want or at a sale or something, I'm just going to be done looking. And I know, like you said before, Dustin, you're pretty much done looking anyways now.
I mean, I'll look and I'll just see like what the prices are, but it's beyond ridiculous. And I was just watching these kids like run around Too Many Games and just drop mad bills, and I was like, I just want to grab them by their face and like, you don't understand. College is going to end someday, and you're going to have to actually.
No loan money to help have fun with anymore.
Yeah,
gotta pay it all back.
But it's also I'm at the point where, like, as far as retro stuff goes, I'm pretty happy with everything. I don't feel the need, like, like you were looking for Brainlord. Like, I don't feel the need to go find Brainlord. If I want to play it, I'll just put it on my emulator. Like the ones I want, I have, and then the ones that I don't have that I want are just so outrageously priced that I just don't even worry about it.
I was gonna ask that queued in another question I want to ask you guys. Was there Dustin, you've really been hammering out with like older retro games, but ever since I've been watching the speedrun marathon, it just really I always get the urge to go back and play the old school games like
Yeah.
a la EarthBound like yesterday. So is there anything in your window, Alex, that you've been playing on retro style, or have you been sticking mostly to the new school here lately?
Well, I have issued a challenge to Dustin.
Oh yeah, y'all can go ahead and talk about that right now. About
All right,
said challenge, what you guys have planned, hopefully.
all right. So let me give the backstory to this, and this is also a little shout out for another podcast I recently discovered.
Go for it.
So I was at work, and summer for what I do for a living tends to be really slow. So I'm sitting there on my phone, which I shouldn't be doing in the first
I
place, and
thought
I'm looking,
stripping was like summer's a big time for that.
only on Friday nights.
Okay,
So
it's okay.
I'm sitting at my desk. I'm on my phone. I'm on iTunes. I'm like, I need to find another podcast because some podcast I do hasn't put up an episode in a few months. Another one has gone on hiatus. Another one, I don't know what the hell's going on with it in the first place. And then one of them, they haven't put up anything in like 4 years, and I'm sick and tired of listening to the backlog episodes over and over again. So I just type in RPG video game, and I got a slew of RPG podcasts.
So
About
there's actually
99% of them were tabletop RPGs, and I have no way to relate to any of them. So I found one, and it's called I'll give you the name right now.
and
I
was
think
this
it's
was this a YouTube RPG or
no, actually, they have no YouTube channel.
okay?
It's called the Retro RPG Podcast. So I listened to 2 episodes, and it's two guys. I think it's Derek and Don, or Mike and Don. Very sarcastic guys, and they've been playing RPGs for a while. They're like in our age category, so they're a little bit jaded, much like myself. So you get like this sarcasm, but in between these episodes, there's another guy who has a YouTube channel that hasn't been updated in like 2 years, but his show is totally separate from these two guys. They're not even on it. And the show is called Is It Worth It?
It's like the first one on the list of the page here. I'm like, he must have saw this. Anyway, go ahead.
So the latest one he did is episode 9 was Is It Worth It? I'll reveal what the game is in a minute. But basically it's 43 minutes of him just giving a background on the game. The whole premise of the show is he's a collector. He owns all the games that he does Is It Worth It on. And he gives you a basic synopsis with spoilers. This game he didn't spoil so much, but Silver Load, he basically told you the ending. He basically walked through the entire game, explaining the mechanics, what he thought of it, and just like a synopsis with spoilers. And then at the end, he basically tells you what it's going for, how much he paid for it, and if it is worth the price. So the latest episode he did was Panzer Dragoon Saga. And he hadn't finished it because of stuff going on like in the real world. But he was like, at this point, he was on, I think, like disc 3, and he was like, it was worth every damn penny at that particular moment in time. And he's like, he paid, he said, I think 200, but he did trades because it was at a store, so he traded in a bunch of stuff to get it. And he said for the price he paid, which was about 200 and change plus the credit, it was absolutely worth it. So having listened to his views and the whole gameplay style, I was like, motherfucker, I want to play this.
Oh no, are you still
So
there?
me?
Yeah, you keep cutting in and out.
Oh, Riff. I'm not telling the whole story again. What was the most accurate thing you heard?
You wanted to start playing the game, so
Alright, so I was like, God damn it, I really want to play this game. I just do not want to spend 400 some odd dollars.
yeah.
So I got a Japanese copy of it, and then I opened up my Saturn, and I did some adjustments to it so I could play the English version of the game and not feel bad.
And by adjustments, that means downloading an English copy of the game.
Yes, and using duct tape.
Yeah.
And so it works. And Dustin actually owns a legitimate copy of said game, and I was like, wouldn't it be cool if I play the game as somebody new to this one totally, and you replay the game as somebody who's played it before, and then we just talk about, we do like a sort of like little mini podcast and just talk about it. So as soon as tomorrow comes, I will be playing Panzer Dragoon Saga for what it's worth, and we'll see where that goes. I've never played it. I know nothing about it. I've only played Panzer Dragoon 1 and 2, but I'm really excited to play it.
I'm really excited too because it's you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it.
I think, I mean, I've liked the other two. I mean, if it has that rail shooting bit to it.
It kind of does, but it's a bit different. It's such a hard game to pin down. Like it's one of the most unique RPGs out there. There's no other RPG like it.
And that's what this gentleman on the podcast said too. And he was like even when he was trying to describe the mechanics, he's like, that is basically how the game plays, but the way I'm describing it makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
It's something you have to play. And he goes, but it costs a lot of money.
Yeah. Alex, do you have a 3D controller?
No, I do not.
It's so much better with a 3D controller. I'm just letting you know.
Well, I played Knights without the 3D controller.
Okay, well then you should probably be able to handle it then.
Okay.
I was playing with the normal controller and then I switched to the 3D controller and it's like night and day.
How about an arcade stick? Could that be one manageable on arcade stick?
You probably could.
Could it work?
I never thought about using my fighting stick to play an RPG.
I actually want the Saturn fight stick for no reason. I just think it would be really cool to have.
No joke. I'm watching a lot of these speed runs, and a lot of these guys use arcade sticks, and I'm like, what the heck? How are they using an arcade stick for this? And they are. So it's pretty crazy.
Which blows my mind, because if there was ever a perfect controller, the Saturn is definitely in for... It'd definitely go far, because I love that Saturn Model 2 controller. Yeah,
I was going to say the Model 2, right? Because that controller is super comfortable.
Yeah.
The only one I personally feel that has beaten it is the DualShock 4.
Oh, the PS4 controller? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a super comfy controller.
But as far as Panzer Dragoon Saga, when you guys were talking about it, I was like, ooh, mini-sode action. I want in on it, too. But then I don't even have a Saturn, so I did try downloading one of the parts like that you linked me to, Alex, because I will not be ashamed to emulate it if it was possible. But when I tried it in the emulator, I mean, it got like 4 minutes in and crashed. So.
Saturn is such a hard system to emulate.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's got like two processors in there, so it's like the emulator just shits itself.
Which boggles my mind because like technology today is so far beyond this thing and nobody can figure it out.
Yeah.
I know.
That's what I can't figure out. But I think really like the allure to like the game itself is just because for me it's just because I know nothing about it and everybody says it's a totally unique experience. And since the code is lost, allegedly, and people at Sega, and even though they said we want to win back our fans' trust, are just still too fucking lazy to backwards engineer it to figure it out. So,
maybe.
Which I think they could do.
Yeah, I don't see why they couldn't pull the. I mean, I have no idea what I'm talking about right now, so someone's going to get on and blast. Let me just preface this. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I can't understand why they can't take the discs and somehow get what they need to off of that. You know what I mean?
That's what I would think tue.
Yeah.
I mean, they could put Sonic the Fighters on PSN. Why can't you put something good?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're starting to see like a rebirth in companies doing that, though. I mean, Capcom's wanting to bring out, like, remake a lot more of the Resident Evils, which, oh man, it's happening. With that Resident Evil 2 news, them on Facebook, it could be coming maybe 2-3 years from now, but If they could remake it like they did 1, that'd be awesome.
They won't remake it like 1, they'll remake it like 6.
Don't say that, Dustin.
You know that's what they're going to do. They're not going to make a tank-controlled...
Or they'll
No.
remake it like Final Fantasy VII.
They just re-released 1 again in HD with the tank and the other control scheme, so I could see it happening.
Okay.
Keep my hopes up.
When I replayed it, I replayed it with the modern control setting personally. I mean, it still handles kind of tanky, but you don't feel like you weigh 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to see. I mean, if Sega wanted to bring out, didn't Sega comment they wanted to bring back some things?
They said they wanted to regain their fans' trust, and then obviously the internet responded with the most viral of viral replies venomous replies that they could come up with. And somebody even said, "Oh, you mean like Sonic in 2D?"
It's funny how Sonic did kind of make a little. They actually made a couple good Sonic games, but it always seems to.
It never lasts.
There's 3 bad ones for every 1 good one.
What killed me was the Sonic Generations. I thought that was fantastic, and then people were like, "Yeah, this is the Sonic game we want." Sega goes, "Oh, this was a one-off for the anniversary. Don't worry, we'll go back to the 3D that everybody wants." And I was like, "No."
I think we saw when the Sonic Advance and Sonic Colors, even though Colors was on the Wii U, Sonic just makes for a great sprite handheld game.
Sonic Colors is a good one too on the Wii. That's an entry.
Whenever Sonic tried to make that next step to 3D, is when he would always have trouble. But just learning from watching these speed runs and learning. I'm sitting here, me and the boy, since he loves Mario. We were watching. They had some Mario speed runs going on before the podcast tonight. They were playing Lost Levels and Super Mario Bros. 3. And he was just sitting there in awe and amazement at it because of how great they were playing the game. But those games, I'm looking at it and I'm like, holy crap, Mario used to be a hard game. This is proof. It used to be tough. Because my son beat 3D World when he was 3 years old. So my 3-year-old son could beat a Mario game now. But when he picks up... I mean, I have Super Mario World downloaded on the Wii U. I think he finally made it to the second world. I mean, it's taken him 2 months to do that. It's just crazy how times and games and franchises have changed for better or for worse. I enjoy 3D World for what it was.
3D World was really fun. I mean, Katie and we played it co-op. That was a lot of fun.
But it's just... Man, I can't believe how... I don't even think I could go back and beat Super Mario Bros. 3 now. I think I've been spoiled by how games are done today.
That's why you gotta go back and forth. New to old, new to old.
This is true.
I mean, I've been saying that's how I do it, but when's the last time I even said I finished an old game? Half the time, I'm like, oh, boy, this thing's taking up space on the desk. Has to go back on the shelf.
Man, putting in something like Xenogears, I'm like, what the heck? I need to have a save point? Forget this crap.
I actually, you know what I do want to replay? Chrono Cross.
Yeah, I want to play that too.
That I haven't played that since it came out. That was one of the best games I've ever played. I don't know what the hell happened in it, but
yeah. I have it on my Vita. It was one of those flash sales where you can get it for 99 cents or something like that.
Yeah, I did the same.
Speaking of Chrono, to close out the speedrun marathon on Sunday, they are going to do a Chrono Trigger 100% speedrun. And I said, I'm going to watch this whole thing. Maybe I could get a little piece of what people love so dearly about this game from the speedrun.
Dude, things are going to get spoiled.
Very.
Very spoiled.
As somebody who really enjoyed Chrono Trigger and actually got all the different endings, and as somebody who I know enjoys Dragon Ball Z, if you just think of Chrono as Goku, the whole game will become so much better for you. Because Lumiere is essentially the spirit bomb. That's really what it is.
It has all the makings of an RPG I would like. It's not very long, nice turn-based system. I think I'd love it. I just don't know why it didn't click with me. I don't know. But I've already kind of been spoiled by that game in a way. So
That's one of the few games I feel that's done time travel right.
I mean, it makes no sense to me how people mark this as their favorite game of all time, RPG of all time, and it does bug me a little bit that why can't I get into it? I should be able to get into the greatest RPG of all time. There's something wrong with me.
It's going to be like me in the Souls series, and eventually one day you're going to. Well, now you can't put it in because you traded it in, but one day you'll just be like, yeah. One day you'll just play it and you'll be like, what was I missing? Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah.
Or if you could think of it this way too, I mean,
that you're all wrong and maybe I'm right.
No, maybe it was in the. Maybe you went in expecting so much greatness that it completely altered your perception of what the game should feel like.
That could be it.
See, I just dropped some philosophizing on your head.
It could be it, because I do get caught up in overhyping myself with games a lot.
I mean, like, I guess as an example for me, I played Uncharted 1, I thought it sucked. And then I got rid of it. And then I was talking to Point Blank Games, this is years ago, and he was like, dude, you have to play Uncharted 2. I was like, well, I never finished Uncharted 1. He was like, do yourself a favor, go get Uncharted 1, finish it within 7 days, then return it to GameStop and get yourself Uncharted 2. So I was like, okay. So I did that, and I actually enjoyed Uncharted 1. Because the first time I played it was when I was more of like not an early adopter, but I was still fairly new to the PS3, so I was basically at GameStop going, what's cheap and good? And the guy recommended Uncharted, and I was just like, this is shit. Let me get rid of it. And I traded in to get Disgaea 3 instead, so.
I almost bought that the other day. Disgaea 3. But I really want the Vita copies, and I can't find them anywhere now, like near me.
Oh, there's one by me. You want me? I still have to send you that gauntlet I got you. So.
Oh, true story, bro. Which one did they have? 3 or 4?
3.
Yeah. Go ahead and snag that up for me if it's still there.
It was, I think, 17, 19, something like that.
Makes sense. There was, so instead I snagged Valhalla Knights 3. Because I had, like, some buy one, get one, I had a buy 2, get 1 free coupon. And that was the free game that I chose. And
you know what, though?
I popped it in, and the combat and that's when a game takes. I'm sorry, that's another thing that I've been spoiled with the newer generations. You know how games get started a lot quicker these days. Even the tutorials are like you're like in there playing. This game took like an hour and a half to get started, and I'm like, you know what? I'm like done with this already. It's taking too long to get going. And then when it finally gets open and the combat starts, it is not a good game at all. Really
okay, to that point too, do you have Disgaea 4?
I don't.
Okay, because that is, and I hate to say it, it's a much better game than Disgaea 3, only because of the wackiness.
Okay, I just wanted one of them, so whatever one
is
available.
Alright. 3 is still good, though. 3 was really fun. Before, I mean, I just finished 4 this month, and I feel like not playing it for years.
Yeah, looking forward to that Game of the Month video.
It's really fun, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the amount of, I guess you could say, self-referential humor and is just hysterical, some of it. Like, they touch on everything. And I can't wait for the 5th one. But I was like the series. So.
I think I took a weird turn from my original question. So is there anything retro you guys have been wanting to play?
Panzer.
Oh yeah, Panzer Dragoon Saga. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, you wanted to play Panzer Dragoon, so hopefully we'll see a mini-sode from you guys in the future on it. So that'd be awesome. You said Chrono Cross is one that you both kind of want to go back and play?
I want
Yeah.
to eventually, and the other one, it's really only because I just watched Emperor Fox's top 50 JRPGs or RPGs
Oh,
in
I'm
general.
glad you reminded me of that. There's so many. The last video I watched was a trade one I did with him, and that's literally the last YouTube video I watched. I gotta watch a bunch of them. I'm so behind.
I mean, I know he's probably listening to this, and if he isn't, he's a fool. He's a damn fool.
Greatest podcast in the history of human civilization.
Landmark podcast. But that list of his, man, was phenomenal.
Solid, nice.
Solid list. And like one of the games on there, I'm not even gonna say what it is because it'll ruin the list. But I was like, oh man, I have to play that.
What
Like,
is Fox considering RPGs? Like, does a Mass Effect qualify? Or are we talking strictly JRPG?
It was mostly JRPG, but there was
Okay.
like a wild card in there.
Gotcha.
In the wild card game, you'll know the wild card game when
Yeah,
you get it.
if you know Fox, you probably know what it is.
But one of the choices, I was like, wow, I totally forgot about that. And I've had it, and I've played it, and I never finished it. And now I'm like, oh man, I want to play that too. And I'm like, why are all the games I want to play retro RPGs? Like, I do not have time for this.
You're not saying where it's at on the list. You can say the name. It could be
No.
number 42.
No, I'm not going to say what it is, because then now you'll have to watch the whole video, and then you'll have to try to figure out what I'm talking
Oh, I'm
about.
gonna watch the whole video, so... The
And
Fox
then
is
you're gonna
another...
give that nice boy a thumbs up at the end, too, right?
Fox is a guy I always have to watch his videos, so... I just really enjoy Fox and his videos.
And then I want to replay not replay, I want to play Mega Man X5.
Ooh. That's another one after watching like all the speedruns of it. It's like, man, I want to pop in some classic Mega Man and make it happen. I've yet to beat any Mega Man game.
What?
Yep.
Alright, well, that's
not even the easiest one to beat. 3.
If that's the easiest one to beat, I'll give it a try.
X3, I think, was pretty easy as well.
Yeah, I mean, once you know like the boss patterns, or the weaknesses, I feel pretty confident if I put one in, I could play it and beat it.
Probably not Mega Man 1. Mega Man 1's
Mega Man Gutsman stage.
Yeah. That'll break you.
Too old for this. You have to play something nice and easy. Like Mighty Number 9. No, I just got myself started.
They were doing a race with Mega Man 4 yesterday. And I think, if I remember correctly, didn't Scott say that if not his favorite was 4, or it's like up there in the top 3, I think, is 4. I think he said it was really underrated. He did a whole video series. If anyone hasn't watched, you should check it out. Where he...
Oh, yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, it's been a while, but he ranks them and goes through the Mega Man franchise because he's a huge fan of them. But they did a race for number 4, and I was just in amazement because not only was it just such a close finish, I mean, within 1 or 2 seconds is when they finished within each other. But man, just the mechanics of just that NES game. It's an NES game, and the mechanics of that Mega Man game were just so awesome. Yeah. So, and to see such high level play was amazing. But what game did you just say, Alex?
X5.
X5.
No, you said something else after that.
I think
Mighty Number 9.
Yes, Mighty
Number 9. Yes. Thank you for reminding me again.
You just said, didn't one of you guys said it was was it you, Dustin? It was canceled again? Put on hold again?
It's on delay again.
If Bloodstained comes out before that game, how ridiculous would that be?
Well,
I think everything with concept right now is utterly fucking ridiculous. And I'm not saying that as a butthurt person who backed it. I'm saying it as a person who's looking at the ethical business dealings and thinking this is a load of horse shit.
Hey, for that game from the get-go, from the looks that I saw from it, as much as cool as it was, it looked like a Child's Play Mega Man game to me instead of Mega Man.
it reminded me of Mega Man X1, and that's why I was excited, because I think of the X series, I think 1 is still my favorite. So that's why I was excited for it. And then it's just all of this crap that's gone on. It's just really kind of taken the wind out of the sails. So
What if they kind of saw it and were like, you know what? Maybe we need to make this. This isn't probably what I envisioned. And he's like reworking the whole game from the ground up to make it more Mega Man and not so. Here, jump over this one block, and there will be enough room for one enemy on the screen for you to shoot, type of deal.
yeah,
I wonder if that could be part of it, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Did you watch the gameplay of it that was released?
A while back, I watched. I think it was Alpha Mega Sin.
No, there was a newer one.
Oh no, I
Like,
haven't watched that. No.
It looks really rough.
It's just the one I saw. It literally, it looked slow, and it looked like again, there was like one enemy on the screen at a time, because everything was so big. It just seemed awkward to me. Like things needed to be smaller and like bigger area to move around in. I don't know.
I mean, really, for me, I was more so like, I mean, I backed it, and when I backed the project, I went with, I think it was like the $60 tier to get the cardboard NES thing, because I thought, that's kind of cool. That's cute. It's like, where where Mega Man originated and all that. And then later on, they're like, oh, Deep Silver's going to publish it. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And they're like, and we're going to make a physical release. I'm like, okay, where is the email saying, hey, do you want to change your pledge to the physical release? Or
Yeah,
do you want to give an extra $10 to get the physical release? Or, hey, this is what happened, sort of thing. They're like, oh no, we'll give you the season pass. I'm like, why the hell is there a season pass or whatever the hell? It's like, or some extra DLC. I'm like, I already have this stupid gold skin. I don't want any more DLC. I would like the physical copy. So basically, I have to now buy the game twice, because of stupid
Oh
collector.
wow!
But then
Yeah.
on top of that, they make
You
a
can't just
collector's
pull your
edition.
Kickstarter thing, or do you still
No,
have the Kickstarter?
long gone, long gone.
yeah.
Deducted and
As
spent.
Oh wow! I thought so it got funded, so it takes your money. I'm
as
guessing.
soon as it
Correct.
gets funded, yeah.
Oh wow!
And now they have a signature edition with a Beck figure, which, whatever. But I'm just like, so why isn't this like a tier upgrade? I'm just like, from like a backer perspective, I'm cool with what I have because at least I'm gonna get to play it. But if these things were options that were added on, I feel like the backers should have the option to pay a little bit more if they want to get these things, as opposed to saying like, here's my package with my cardboard NES box and my digital download code, and now I'm off to Best Buy to go buy my physical copy of the game because I want to play it on a different platform. Or whatever the case may be.
It makes sense. You should get that option. Like, hey, here, just pay this differential, and boom, upgraded.
Yeah.
Which
But on
I
top
think.
of all this,
Yeah.
they're like, hey, we want to do Red Ash.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And
And I
I'm
think
like,
that
how about you freaking finish and release the game you're already working?
I think that's why that Kickstarter didn't go very far, because people were kind of fed up with the Mighty Number 9 situation. And then, of course, the Red Ash it wasn't going to make it, and then all of a sudden this Chinese company steps in and says, we're going to fund the game, and it's like, it's the same situation as Mighty Number 9 and Deep Silver again, because, Inafune and Concept are saying, hey, keep pumping money into the Kickstarter, because all that money is going to go towards the game, so it's, yeah.
And they
There's
lost
been a lot of...
and they lost $4,000 worth of pledges after that.
Oh wow!
Like, people are like, what the hell? Like, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, I think they can do without the 4,000. But
Right.
that tells you negative response. Maybe it's more now. I personally didn't back it because I would like to have my freaking first game. And just like with Pure Solar, I'm still waiting for my goddamn Dreamcast copy. But they apparently have had a infrastructure change. Tulio, that main guy, he's no longer with the company, actually. I guess
Pure
he sold
Salt. They're
off.
actually a company. I mean, I thought it was like a couple people.
Yeah, he and some other guy, Fonzie, I guess is his forum name.
Yeah.
Tulio quit or resigned or whatever and sold his share of the company to Fonzie. So now Fonzie's the sole owner.
Okay.
So while this is happening, I imagine there was some dispute, maybe, or maybe certain documents were signed or agreed to by Tulio and they have to get turned over and all that fun stuff. Because I got an email maybe 3 days ago and they're like, "Oh, we'll be sending out the Dreamcast copy soon." I'm like, "Yay! 2 years late." But they did all that by themselves, so I can understand that. I can be annoyed about it, but I can understand that. Now that you have a publisher and all this other stuff, you delay the game, and now the game's delayed again, and now all of a sudden there's all this behind the scenes, hey, we found a publisher last minute thing, which I don't think this happened overnight, but looking at, say, like Bloodstained, at least Iga went out in his intro video and said, I already have a publisher, but they want me to prove that people want this.
I was gonna say, is that why you think Shenmue isn't getting backlash either? Because isn't Sony said, hey, we're gonna be helping fund this, but we still need you guys to pay too?
From my understanding, the only thing that Sony's doing for it is just saying, hey, it's going to be on our system. I don't think Sony's putting any money forward on this.
Really?
Well, I think they are, only because in the Q&A thing that I read, it sounds like there's some sort of embargo in place because somebody had asked, is Sony providing you with money? And they said Sony is involved in the project, but that's all we can say.
Yeah.
So I imagine maybe Sony is like, we'll front all the advertising and production for,
or maybe the studio for them to work in or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like some sort of thing like that, I would assume. But the fact that Yu Suzuki's like, I need 10 million to make it fully open world. I'm like, please do not make it fully open world. Half the charm of Shenmue is the fact that it isn't fully open world. So I was literally just like, please don't get 10 million. Please don't get 10 million. But, I mean, there's honesty behind that. This seems, to me, personally, shady, and it's happened twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, to me, when I see a trend like that, I immediately just say, like, if he puts up a third one, forget it. Like, I'll sit back and watch. Like, to me, this is nonsense.
Yeah, I've yet to do one, even though the Bloodstained one, part of me wishes I did because there were some cool collector's editions you could get in there. But I'll be fine with my physical release copy that I'll just be buying.
I backed the basic game because I would have bought it anyway. So.
Yeah. But other than that, I really have no interest.
I really don't need any more collector's editions. They take up way too much space.
Yep.
I got a couple more spots for some important ones. They have to be important though, like a Pip-Boy.
Yeah. That being said, I have the Pip-Boy on order, and I put money down for the Zesteria, but I may cancel it.
Oh, speaking of Zesteria, I'll let you finish your thing too before we get into it. But if we hadn't already mentioned, we can go ahead and talk about what we've been playing because I dabbled in a Tales game. But what were you saying about Zesteria?
Oh no, I put down money for a pre-order. Like, I'm sitting here looking at my video game mount, and I'm like, I really don't need any more oversized stuff.
But yeah, just to let everyone fill in what I've been playing here recently. Like I said, EarthBound yesterday. That's probably going to be the main focus of gaming whenever I get a chance, because really I never have time to play any games until I get to the weekend now these days. Because in the evening, if I play something, it's normally I don't, or I fall asleep. So, but EarthBound will probably be the main focus. Other than that, I downloaded Ultra Street Fighter 4 on PS4 the other day. Got to dabble in that for a few minutes just to see how it all functions or what's changed on it. And so far, just from going through Ultra Trial Mode and learning some target combos, I'm like already having fun again. I'm still stuck at the game. But maybe I can actually beat you in a round, Alex, this time.
I don't have it on the PS4,
It doesn't have
but
crossplay? I mean,
I don't know. I probably should have looked that up. But no, the reason why I even said, like, my question to you is, did they fix the netcode? But I'm guessing you don't know.
no, I actually did try some matches. One match went okay. The other one was like perfect. Like nothing was going on. I just had a Sagat that was spamming Tiger.
Tiger,
Yeah.
knee, Tiger.
I took a round from him though, man. I took a round from him. With Dustin's favorite character, Ken.
That's my guy.
Forward medium kick. Keep that distance. But yeah, learn because my worst thing in that game is comboing, obviously. But just picking up, going through the trial mode, the ultra trial mode, and learning some target combos that help connect to some fireballs and stuff was really helpful. So it was pretty cool. But other than that, I did pop in that same day while Street Fighter was downloading. I was playing some Valkyria Chronicles, like we were talking about earlier. I had really been having a good time with it, trying to finish it off until getting to the last couple missions. I think what was mission 7 was that stupid tank mission that
breaks a lot of people.
I didn't fail it, but I got right to the last. I mean, that tank was about to make its move to end the game for me, and this was a long match, people. I mean, over an hour and a half I've been in this battle.
And there's a turn limit, right? If I remember correctly.
There's a turn limit, but also if they make it to this Coliseum-looking building, if they break through it. And he was about to break through it. But I got my hit in, and I blew up the tank, and all is well with the world. But then I was like, man, that was challenging. And then when Alex had mentioned, like, yeah, that's the breaking point for some people, I'm like, oh, so it must be like a nice little buffer here where it gets easy again. Well, no, it didn't get that much easier, but it got manageable. And now just this chapter 11, like you're talking about, I'm so addicted to wanting to get a good rating that if it's been like 7 or 8 turns and I'm not at least about to get to the flag or whatever I need to do, then I'm like, reset. I'm redoing this. So, but I need to stick to that, like they're saying. It is a good, and the story is intriguing, and I love the combat system in the game. But man, it just gets frustrating. Especially when you're within like 2 feet of a target, and then they duck down in front of you.
Oh, I hate that.
So irritating. Anyways, so when that game frustrated me that day, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pop in something else, and I had just picked up. Like I said, I went to GameStop to get the buy 2 get 1. One of the games I really wanted was the Tales of Symphonia HD collection that they had there. So I picked that up and I put in the Tales of Symphonia, started playing that, and I didn't know, because the game looks beautiful to me, by the way, if no one's played the HD versions of it yet. It looks amazing, in my opinion. But I did not know it was not a free run in that game for the combat.
Nope. That did not get put in yet.
So it was interesting, like, because I kind of had to make an adjustment. I was like, because I feel like maybe defend is a more important button in this game now, or back in those days.
It was like Tails is so much like faster and more fluid now. Like back in the day, it was. I mean, if you play like Xillia 2 and then go back to play like Symphonia, it's gonna be hard.
Well, the main target was I went there wanting to get Xillia 2, but it's a used copy or new, hasn't been in stock over there in a couple months. So it's been kind of...
try my least favorite Tales game of the ones I played was Legendia.
Legendia?
PS2.
PS2, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's the one you found a guide for, I think, Dustin, when I was at your house in Ohio.
Yep.
Like, I got to the end and I watched the ending and I was like, what happened? Like, it wasn't even complicated or anything story-wise. Just like, I did not care. You know what I mean?
Well, I was liking Symphonia because I actually played that for about 2.5 hours. that day, and that was going to be the game I was going to start focusing on until I popped in EarthBound later on that evening, and that's probably going to be the focus now, just because it'll be easier to kind of just hold that Wii U gamepad and play. But yeah, Symphonia was pretty cool, but just getting adjusted to that 2D plane, it's going to take some getting used to just to figure out the battle system. I'm guessing the combos of back in the day won't work like the cool 50 hit combos you can get these days, or maybe you can do that back in the day too. I don't know, but so far it's been pretty cool. I've actually liked from what I've played it.
I played Symphony on the GameCube, and I have the HD collection. Because I've never played, and I know people are going to be like, don't play that, don't even waste your time with it, but I've never played Symphonia 2. So I want to go back and I want to play Symphonia 1 with the HD version, and then go right into Symphonia 2.
Yeah. That was kind of my whole thing, thinking too, like, you know what, I'd probably do both of these, because I'm really enjoying the Tales franchise these days. Exilia was awesome. I've only heard good things from other people about 2, and then Zestria is coming out, and that's looking to be really awesome. So,
it's the most consistently, like, you used to be able to rely on Final Fantasy, and used to be able to rely on Dragon Quest when they actually brought Dragon Quest out.
yeah,
It's like the biggest reliable franchise for a JRPG out there now.
yeah,
So.
it pretty much is. So other than that, that's pretty much what I've been playing recently. Other than Batman a while back, but that's been beaten, and yeah. So, Dustin, what about you? Other than, I got a question about one of yours that you kind of teased, but I haven't heard much of.
Huh.
You had downloaded Symphony the other night, but I guess that was just to show off that you downloaded it. It wasn't really on the playlist yet, or what?
Oh, I'm working my way through the second castle right now.
Ooh, so go ahead and get into it then. What you been playing then?
Well, obviously I've been playing the EarthBound games. Just finished up EarthBound 1.
Video up, by the way, just released.
Video is up, so I won't talk about it. Playing Mother 3 right now, which it took me a while to get into because it kind of has a weird way it tells its story.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of has a weird way it tells its story, and but now like everything's kind of moving in the right direction. I feel like it's going to get a lot better here soon. And then. Yeah, I've been playing Symphony of the Night kind of in the background, and because I bought that Hardcore Gaming 101 Castlevania book.
Oh, yeah.
And I was reading through that book, and I was thinking to myself, I need to play some Castlevania, and it just so happened that I remembered, oh yeah, Symphony of the Night is on my Vita. Booted that up, and I've been having a blast with that game. It's just such a, like, anyone who wants to get into the Castlevania series, that's the game I would recommend they start with, because the music is so good, the action is so good, it's challenging but not like overwhelmingly challenging like some of them can be, and the voice acting is just hilarious.
What is a man?
I'd say Area of Sorrow. Area of Sorrow, only because of beating it. Yeah. But
which I mean that's the thing. Like I'm really into that Metroidvania style, and I bitch and complain about there not being any Metroids. I've beat all the Metroids in that style, so like I have all these Castlevanias I need to work through. So I'm actually really happy right now. But I'm like, I got the Harmony of Dissonance. No, I beat Harmony of Dissonance.
I was gonna say, which ones have you actually beaten?
Castlevanias?
Yeah.
Probably just Harmony of Dissonance.
Oh wow, yeah, you got me and you both. We got a bunch of work through.
Yeah, and I remember like 2 years ago, like really, really working really hard on the NES Castlevania, and I'd get to Frankenstein, and I'd just completely shit my pants. And
from fear.
But
hey man,
well, yeah.
The Wii, do get it on Wii Virtual Console with some save points or the whatever.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
But actually, after reading that book, I really want to play Simon's Quest, which is like the black sheep of the series.
Oh, I was gonna say I still will. I'm probably never gonna even try that one.
I have Simon's Quest, actually. I've beaten Simon's Quest.
Oh, nice.
I don't recommend it.
I still want to try it. And then I got Super Castlevania 4, so I'm going to, obviously going to give that one a shot. So, I mean, I got all these, games. I got Rondo of Blood on a burnt CD that I actually really want to do that. I really want to do Rondo of Blood.
That game is fantastic. That game, I mean, for me, Super 4 is my personal favorite, but Rondo almost beat it.
Oh, if we're talking, Super 4 is my number one. But to get someone started, I would have said Aria. But yeah, Super 4.
And then I want to download a e-boot of Chronicles because I'm not paying prices for that for my PSP, so I can play the other revamped original.
Don't even worry about that one, man.
Yeah, don't even.
Really?
Like, if you're gonna play.
And what do you mean the prices? Is that going up in price or something?
I think so. I mean everything's going up.
Okay.
So, but it doesn't matter. I don't. If I can e-boot it, then I'm going to e-boot it. That's just. I'm kind of done.
You should try Order of Ecclesia though.
I have that. Yeah.
I haven't beaten that one. I got very angry at it.
I was going to say that's the one that's like ridiculously hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that the one? I think because you bought one when I was up visiting you at that game store.
I don't. That was 2 years ago. I don't remember which one it was.
You're supposed to remember these things. It was so meaningful.
I'm 32 years old. I can barely remember what I did yesterday.
Exactly.
Remember the time Steven pretended to be security at the convention?
I do remember that.
Good times. So many people asking me questions, man. Showing me their badge.
Like people that actually like were working there all week.
I know, they were talking. Like, for one guy to be like, yo, I'm going on break. Can you watch my spot?
This one guy that's here this one day, he looks official.
He was asking me, like, so how are we working this door? I'm like, I don't know, man.
You tell me.
I came to get you guys to see. I came to get them to see where they wanted people to line up. And the dude's like, I don't know. How should we work them today? Yeah, send them over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool.
But actually, thinking back on it, that Castlevania book, it actually made like the N64 Castlevanias sound fun.
It does.
Yeah, and I remember playing them, and I know they're not fun, but it kind of made
They tried really hard, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have the one with the werewolf on the front. I forgot what the subtext is, but Castlevania 64, it tried so hard, just nothing good happened.
Yeah. And I have Lament of Innocence on the PS2. Is that any good? I can't remember.
Those are okay. They're trying to be Devil May Cry, though.
Yeah. I think there's, two of them? Curse of Darkness and...
Curse of Darkness and Lament of Innocence.
Yeah. And I never even picked up, Shadow of whatever.
Lords of Shadow?
Lords of Shadow, yeah. I didn't even pick that up.
I mean, honestly, the first time I played those as a Castlevania fan, I was like, this is a travesty. The ghost of Simon Belmont is rolling over in his grave.
It's been so long since I played Lords of Shadow, I can't remember if you fight Dracula as the end boss or not. I'm guessing you do, but I don't know.
You don't.
Yeah.
But like, thinking back on it, like, just playing it as, like, the first Lords of Shadow, in hindsight, is actually really good.
Yeah,
the second Lords of Shadow is fun, but it
doesn't add up to much. Yeah.
The cop-out at the end.
The only problem with the first Lords of Shadow to me was just, it was just too long.
It's really long, yeah.
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 So anyways, anything else you've been playing?
Other than... No, I've really been focusing on...
That EarthBound run, man.
Yeah, I've really been, narrowing down and focusing on... Oh, I did play Jamestown Plus on the PS4.
I did see you on playing that the other day.
Tee-hee-hee. That is a fantastic game.
Because I remember back in the day, Dustin, we got to get this. We can co-op it. Then we both get it. Oh yeah, local co-op.
Is there online co-op in the Plus version?
I doubt it. I remember because I remember when we did it on Steam, we couldn't do
Yeah.
it then. I don't think
Yeah.
they changed it.
It sucks. But anyway, yeah.
Oh.
As much as people lament the sort of, I guess, death of Cave, it's nice to see that there are people out there that are still bringing the shmup game out. So.
Yep.
But that's been it. Going to start up Panzer Dragoon Saga here soon,
Cool.
so I can talk with Alex about it.
Speaking of, Alex, what you been playing recently? You don't have to go over your game of the month stuff, but just
No,
whatever you've
I've
been
been
playing.
playing. I've been playing a lot of weird shit, essentially. So, I mean, I'm only gonna mention it because I think it's a fantastic experience, and when it comes out in August, late August, US wise, two of you should pick it up. Steins Gate on the Vita. I finished that. I got all the endings except for one.
So
And
overall playtime was.
tell you, I don't. I'd have to.
Uh,
I
because
don't think it actually tells you if I
when you
remember.
say every ending, I'm thinking, oh man, that sounds like.
Oh no! It was one of those like you skip to a chapter and you pick like option A
Oh,
instead of option.
okay, gotcha.
But wow, that is. I mean, I tried playing it on the PC originally and I couldn't get into it. But having it on the Vita and being able to play it on the train and like wherever I was, it is a fantastic time travel story. But I think probably the most powerful thing about it is that people often say if you had a time machine, what would you do differently? This game really explores that and really shows, like, for lack of a better word, what the butterfly effect can do. And even though it may do something positive, if it does screw something else up, it's really tragic. Like the overall story is actually really sad, but it is like if you're a visual novel fan, you have to check it out. I can't really talk about it. But it was really good.
Gotcha.
Well worth the wait. But other than that, I've been playing DMC4 limited edition. I imported the Asian version because I wanted to save hard drive space. It aged really well, I have to say. Devil May Cry 4. It's not as fluid as like DMC, obviously because it's older. It does have that 2006 stank
Yeah.
on it, but but it's really fun. I'm halfway through it at this point. I finished the Nero section and I just started the Dante section. I thought I was gonna have it finished this month, but that didn't happen because another game has been taking up my time, and that is Taikyo no Tatsujin for the Vita. I have two more songs to go, and then I've officially played every song on at least normal. But I don't know half the songs in this game because they're from stuff I know nothing about, but it is so catchy.
I have no
Like,
idea what game you're even talking about.
it's a rhythm game. It's Taikyo no Drum Master.
Pete Dorr talks about it all
Oh
the time.
yeah.
So much fun.
You're not playing like Persona 4 Dancing All Night like everybody else.
No, I'm waiting for that to come out over here.
Okay, because they all got the Japanese release then. That's how they're all playing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought about it honestly, but I'm like, if I do that, I'm not gonna replay it again to unlock everything and go through the story and all that stuff. So I figured I'd just wait.
I'm actually interested in that game. I like the how they did the rhythm aspect in that game. How the gameplay works.
Well, I really enjoy the music of Shoji Meguro, so that's the selling point for me.
So this Drum Master game you're playing, so it is like you're drumming on your Vita there, or are you pushing buttons?
No, it's actually buttons only.
Ooh.
Which was kind of surprising to me, but that's how it played on the PSP. But it really doesn't take away from it. It's actually really fun. But the DS versions of the game, they actually give you two styli if you buy the game new, so you can drum out like that.
Isn't it crazy how these rhythm games actually work pretty well on handhelds?
I prefer them on handhelds.
Yeah,
like I have Guitar Man on PS2, and I have like no urge to play it on the PS2. I want to put it on my PSP.
Yeah. Which
but
you can.
I know. And then, other than that, Disgaea 4, I finished that. Fantastic entry in that series. I don't think it's as laugh out loud funny as the original one, but mechanically it's just as solid. And I beat the boss in one turn, the final boss in one turn with a 16-hit combo. Not counting counters and double counters and team up attacks and counters. But
Didn't you? And this is a brief spoiler for your video. Didn't you like power level all your guys? Like you maxed them out.
oh yeah, I sent everybody into the item world, and I was overpowered to the point where I was just one-shotting everything. And then I got to the end after not grinding for a bit, and I started to struggle.
Which all power to you, man, because I'm all about that too. And Blue Dragon, I was untouchable, baby.
Really, really fun though. But other than that, I mean, really, it's just I played a little bit of Street Fighter 4, like nothing that's super substantial. I played some Saturn, and then I'll be starting up Panzer Dragoon. But that's really, I mean, it's work has been not busy, but just like time consumed has just been busy. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, you wouldn't play Hearthstone with me the day I needed help getting my daily quest done, so he didn't
Yes.
play Hearthstone, people.
Oh, and I played Tetris. If that counts. I've played some Tetris.
Oh man, the Tetris Grandmasters a couple nights ago on the speedrun.
I know, that's what made me want to play
Ugh.
Tetris.
Dustin, these guys. I mean, it's just amazing. Even my wife was sitting there in amazement at what these guys can do with Tetris. One guy playing a two-player game by himself.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
with two controllers, he's sitting there. It's insane, unbelievable.
Yeah.
So if you could never get hyped about a Tetris game, just look up Tetris Grandmaster, play it, and be amazed.
Be amazed.
Well, I think we did it, gentlemen.
I think we did it.
I think we successfully did an episode without one of our hosts, Chance. Hopefully he'll listen to this and hopefully he can return soon. He's out on new adventures, which hopefully won't keep him from being able to do this. But what he's doing now is really important. So if anyone watches his channel, you'll know from his recent video and stuff of what he's got going on. So I won't spoil it. Go and
busy guy.
check it out.
But he'll be back.
Yeah, he will.
He'll make his glorious return.
He was just out of town this weekend, so that's why he couldn't be here.
Yeah.
With a vengeance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Alex, man, we appreciate it. This was like last minute yesterday, or was it like a day or two ago?
Yeah.
It was yesterday. I was like, what are you doing tomorrow? I'm like, nothing. Why? On a Friday night, I was like, nothing.
We're like, perfect. You can help us out. But thanks for filling in, man. It was awesome.
Always a pleasure.
you sound so pleasant right now.
So thrilled.
Yay.
I'm on a
Clap for her. Clap for her.
I'm on a podcast again. Yay.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks for thanks Eeyore. Thanks for joining us, Eeyore. Thanks for remembering me. Yeah.
Thank you for the 2 hours of fart jokes.
But no, hopefully you listeners enjoyed it. This was a landmark show, which I can't say, so someone else can cover that part for me.
Landmark show.
Yes, this was a landmark show. Having Alex back again. This is for a return visit. It was awesome. We've been trying to get him back on for a while, so it was great to get him back on today.
Yeah. The Mother Base moment, that was a very short-lived.
Oh, yeah, we have to go back to that.
Because the problem is I like doing them live so we can listen, and what I have to do to get it playing while we're talking it literally screwed up my computer last time, so I'm not doing it.
It was so powerful that it made your computer shit itself.
I could just place it in there, then we can react afterwards like, ha, that was great.
Actually, I think the next Mother Base moment should just be that frickin' foghorn for about 25 seconds.
Let's pick it up.
Good stuff.
All right, gentlemen. It was fun.
All right. Yes, it was.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
And that is it.